everybody, welcome to Spring Training Live, presented by our friends from Toyota. How's everybody doing, all right? Yeah, Tom McCarthy along with Cole Hamels. We just witnessed Cole's first game doing television. Yeah. His hair is still perfect. And he saw everything. He saw walks, he saw home runs, saw some good pitching, some not so good pitching. How was it? How was your first day?
I mean, it was a lot, but it was good. I think
it was a lot.
To have something for a first, be able to see it all, and what worked well together. So I like that.
Yeah,
so
well, we referenced the Tiki Bar a lot because we knew we were coming out here.
Yes, we did.
Obviously, it was very crowded. How was the Tiki Bar today? Was it good? Yeah, it's always good. It's always good. We saw some really good things. I mean, the Phillies offense. Thank you all for coming down because you got the offense going. That was very nice of you to do that. Phillies offense these last few days has been rolling.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially this part of spring training in the middle, and it's what better way to do it in front of a sold-out crowd back home, and, everybody to be able to see this. I think all the players are getting ready. They're getting hot, and just now it's just build up the consistency and take that for the next couple of weeks.
All right, so one of the things that I think fans probably know, Cole's been down here before. He was an guest instructor this year. How cool is it just to be part of it, be part of baseball, and really be part of it with Phillies, but just be part of it again?
It's great. I mean, it's a lot better than sitting at home. This is, I've been here since 2002, and my first spring training was 2004 when the stadium opened. To now kind of come full circle and see it in a different way. The team is tremendously talented, so you always want to be a part of that. Anytime you get to see the type of guys that they have, and just kind of watch. And now sitting in this sort of situation, I admire what they're able to do in a different perspective, and now just kind of encourage them to go out and win. Yeah.
And by the way, we did hear all the Eagles chants, and we just heard one before, and the guy who's singing is very talented. Whoever this, yeah. The guy that's singing is very talented, and he said, I have no idea what any of you just said. So, but it was still cool to see it. It's always good to hear it, too. All right, so we have our first fan question. Are we going to the Cobra for that? Is that what we're doing? Or we're going to the Cobra. Everybody say hi to the Cobra. That's him right there, Spencer. All right, what's our question there, Cobra?
All right, guys. So our question is from, I'm not Cobra, by the way. But
is that Ashley?
The real talent, Cobra behind the
Ashley's
camera.
here too.
I'm like, I don't have that cool of a nickname. But this is Michael, and his question is for Cole.
Hey, Cole, RB High, class of 95, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My question is, which Phillies pitcher do you think will have the most unexpectedly positive impact on the team this year?
What Phillies pitcher?
I do think Walker is going to do pretty well.
Oh,
and, just the way that he came into spring training, I think it's a testament to what he recognized he needed to do. This is not an easy market to pitch in, and I think he's ready to go. So I think he's going to surprise a lot of people and be back to the normal Walker that obviously signed here with what Dave was wanting.
Wow, that would be huge if he's back to normal. And I think Cole said it. He came in great shape. He is a wonderful guy. Mm-hmm. He works his tail off.
Yeah, he really is.
I think the guy today, Christopher Sanchez, is. I mean, how good did he look today?
No, he's going to start separating himself in the pitching world. Philly fans know how good he is. The division knows about him a little bit more. But I think the National League, the American League are going to get to know him a lot more because he's going to be on a lot of those record notes throughout the year of, the top 5 in the pitching stats.
Yeah, and by the way, I think this is the best rotation we've had since Cole's probably that 2011, 2012 year. It's that good. Consistently, it's that good.
It really is. Yeah.
Kyle Kendrick.
Hey, he did well.
I did see Kyle Kendrick's wife, Steph, the other day. Where do you guys think I saw? I was in the mall. Where do you think I saw Steph the other day? I am wearing Lululemon pants, but it was not Lululemon.
Guess.
Not a bad guess. Where do you guys think that I saw? Just think like totally where I wouldn't be or you didn't think I would be.
Mall.
Where? I would get jewelry for somebody. Not you, but I would get jewelry for somebody. I was buying makeup. Yes, I was buying makeup the other day, and that's where I saw Steph. Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyway, Ash, we got some more questions.
We're lining them up here. Next one is Charlie, originally a Philly boy, but he moved to Nashville, and his question is for Colt.
Who is the best hitter you ever faced as a pitcher?
The best hitter, I would say Miguel Cabrera, and I know he's probably going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer in a couple of years. Derek Jeter was up there, and then when you're facing guys in the division, it wasn't easy to face a LaRoche. I had Brian McCann. Let's see who else. David
funny.
Wright. Those guys hit really well off me.
Well, because two of those guys are lefties, too.
I know, and that was kind of something you don't really anticipate is the lefty man. I should have the advantage. Those guys hit me really well, and I've talked to them after the fact. They always said we were guessing. We sat on pitches the whole day. They're like, we sat on this one pitch. We didn't care. We were going to go 1 for 3 with a homer. I was like, yeah, you pretty much did. So they did damage.
So that's funny that they were guessing against you. Did that frustrate you when you heard that? Like you were guessing?
Yes, because everything is I play off the stats and what my game plan was, and I'm just working off that. I didn't know they were just completely sitting on a certain pitch that day. It's almost like they flipped a coin.
Wow, that's really funny. Ash, you got any more? Oh, okay. All right. We'll go back to Ashley in just a few moments. All right. So lineup today.
Yes.
We talked to Rob, just so everybody knows. I know a lot of people were wondering about this. And we asked him, are you still tinkering with the lineup as far as who's going to bat where? Turner leading off, Kyle Schwarber batting cleanup. We've seen a lot of Schwarber leading off these last few games. He said, these guys don't really – it doesn't bother them where we go. Did you think today was probably closer to opening day, or do you think it's the other way like last year with Schwarber leading off?
I think they're starting to favor probably this lineup. I think that's going to be what you're going to see a little bit more, just because they are left-handed dominant.
Mm-hmm.
I think with putting and starting Turner, that separates when the lineup turns over. Having Turner there opposed to Schwarber, I think Bryce batting in the 2-hole. They could possibly flip a Schwarber and a Harper,
right?
At times. But I really do think they're trying to see how they can utilize Turner, especially when the lineup turns over.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we mentioned that this show is sponsored by our good friends at Toyota, and the president of the Tri-State Toyota Dealers Association, our good friend Paul Muller, who is wearing a hat. Good call on your part. Paul and I go to the same barber, so we always have to wear hats, although I didn't wear one today. So Ashley is standing by with Paul Muller.
Yeah, guys, Tom said it best. So I'm here with Paul Muller. Obviously, super amazing relationship between Phillies and Toyota. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Oh, absolutely. It's been almost 30 years of our relationship with Toyota, both as a sponsor and a partner with all the things that they do, fans feeding fans, all the people that they do for the food drive that we do, the military appreciation night. Just everything that they do, we're involved with, and we're fortunate that most of the things we do, they're involved with.
That's awesome. Obviously, a lot of great things coming up this season. What are a few things that fans can expect Toyota to be a part of?
Spending a lot of money and running a lot of ads. It's all the same things we've been doing. We have military appreciation. We sponsor the Phillies Wall of Fame weekend. I think we have like 8 or 10 different sponsorship nights that we do at the Phillies. They're an amazing organization. And as Tom and Cole mentioned, the team is going to look real good this year. So we're looking for a lot of people down at the ballpark. And it should be a heck of a season.
I agree. Based on what we're seeing here, I think there are going to be a lot of fans at the ballpark. What is your favorite part of being a Phillies fan?
Hanging out with Tom McCarthy.
That's exactly right.
Because there's not a lot of people in the world that I'm better looking than. Tom is one.
I'll give you that one. I'll give it to you.
No, it's the camaraderie. It's just what people like Cole coming back, where he started, but just it's a family thing. I have kids and grandkids, and we spend days down at the ballpark, and it's relaxing, it's exciting. This is Americana at its finest.
All right, Paul. Well, thank you so much, as always, for joining us, and we're really excited for the upcoming season. Tom and Cole, back to you.
All right, Ashley, thank you. And Paul mentioned the nights that they're sponsoring. One of the giveaways is the Kyle Schwarber baseball card bobble. If you haven't seen that, that's a great giveaway. that will be given out this year. And he also mentioned Wall of Fame night. So everybody knows Pat Burrell is on the Wall of Fame, right? So that's 2008 represented. Pat Gillick is on the Wall of Fame, 2008 represented. Well, this year, it was announced earlier today that Jimmy Rollins, right, and Ed Wade, who is really the architect, along with Pat, no doubt, but Ed was the original seed planner for the 2008 World Championship, will also go on the Wall of Fame. That's pretty cool.
No, that's two great people right there, and especially with Jimmy. I mean, you got one of the best Phillies of all time, so finally getting his due. I look forward to being there and listening to Jimmy's speech, because he does a phenomenal job with, just being Jimmy.
Yeah.
He is. He's Jimmy.
Jimmy was Jimmy this week or last week with Ryan Howard here at camp. So there was a lot of bling in the ears, on the wrist. But it was really funny. And Jimmy made it known to all the coaches because they wondered, hey, where did you get those sneakers? And Phil Sheridan, who's our clubhouse director of clubhouse, got him his size 10s because he didn't bring any sneakers down to him. So they said, hey, how come we can't get those? He goes, you win him a World Series, you'll get yourself some sneakers. Yeah, we're excited about that. One day Cole's going to be up on that Wall of Fame as well, along with a lot of other guys too. So, all right, Ash, what else you got?
We are back again with our buddy Tom. I told him easy name to remember, so thank you for that.
Very easy.
And he has 2 questions for you guys.
Right. These are with regard to the ABS, the automated ball strike system that we're seeing here in the park. I'm wondering what you think the future with regard to regular play in the major leagues is with regard to this system. And then for Cole in particular, I'm wondering, when you were playing, would you have preferred a system where the automated system was in place and calling all balls and strikes?
That's a good question. So I thought it was going to be put in play. I think it's been great to watch as a fan because it's been so fast. It hasn't interrupted the game itself. So I think that's a really big thing. It hasn't been to the last couple of days that I've listened to some pitchers talk about it and hitters about not getting the edges of the outside part of the plate, how important that is, because every umpire's strike zone is different. I thought it was going to be implemented next year, definitely. I don't know about that. I think that it has to be voted on by the players, by the umpires, and I don't know if they favor it as much as I thought they would favor it. So, and as far as you go, what do you think, Cole? Would you have liked it, not liked it? We talked a little bit about it on the air today.
Yeah, no, I don't think I would have preferred it. There's something about the human element of baseball. It does, you can have the complaints, you can have the cheering. Sometimes it goes against one side than the other. But the game of baseball is learning tendencies, and umpires are part of the game, and you're learning their tendencies, and you're trying to throw not only to a hitter's weakness, but also to the umpire's strength and what he calls.
Good point.
So we would kind of move it on, and we had our own scatter reports based off the umpires as well. And that's just kind of the way of baseball, and that's what makes it special. Yes, it can be frustrating at times, but that's what baseball is.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, I thought more about, we're going to get the calls right, but there is something about the human element of the game that I think we kind of forget about sometimes.
I think that's why there's a reason there's 162 games.
Yeah,
not 17, 18 like football.
I do wonder though. I do wonder about like umpires today. Like Mark Carlson's been around forever. He was umpire when Cole was pitching, and when he had 3 challenges in the first inning.
Yeah,
and I think at one point it's like batter's challenging whether it's the ball or not, or whether it's a strike or not. We play it. It's a ball. It was Bryce. I mean, he got both of his right. But then the Braves guy did it, and you could hear the disdain. And I always wonder if the umpires will sit there and say, the catcher's challenging whether that was a strike or not. And they run it, and it's called a ball, which is what the umpire called. I want the umpire to say, called it a ball. I got it right.
Yeah,
something like that.
That would be entertaining.
That would be very entertaining. So, all right, Ashley, we have another question.
Yep, guys, we're here with Rachel, and she has a question for Cole about his new gig.
All right, so as a new play-by-play announcer of baseball, what is your favorite side of this part of baseball?
Got to be the shirts.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a really good wardrobe.
Yeah, he is.
So I know I get to look forward to that. I think just coming back, it's a different perspective. Also, it's being around a lot of the people that I didn't necessarily get to see, but have a huge part behind the scenes. And I just have the appreciation. The game of baseball takes a huge working environment to get it done. And I don't think you see it. To acknowledge and just be thankful that, they allow this game of baseball to happen and put on this great show. But yeah, I mean, we get to talk baseball a little bit more when you're not able to talk baseball with baseball minds and obviously watching the game in one of the best environments possible. It just can get stale. Philly keeps you on your toes, and I look forward to that.
Yeah, and I will say that, we're grateful that we've had guys like Mike Schmidt from 1980, John Kruk from 1993, Jamie, Matt Stairs, Cole from 2008, Jimmy, although Jimmy cursed a lot. But we loved it.
That's going to be something I'm going to watch my mouth. I think when I played, you guys could hear the four-letter words I was saying a lot.
Yes, we could.
I got a lot of complaints. Yeah. I'm really sorry. It's just that's what happened. There's a lot on the line.
And of course, I've got to remember Sarge, too, in the 83. Yeah. So the fact that we have pieces of all of the great years that the Phillies have had, I think it's a great perspective for the fans, too. I really do. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I really do. So
I got a lot to work on. I know. I get it.
No, it was great. Hey, listen, we're joking. I mean, spring training games aren't usually 3 hours and 20 minutes. There was a lot of stuff going on. We still have no idea. Well, we do now. While Rodolfo Castro was called out, we understand that he called 2 timeouts, which we forgot that you're not allowed to have 2 timeouts. Can't call 2 timeouts anymore. So let's go to Ashley for another question.
All right, guys. Joanne is here, and she has a question about the future of baseball.
Hi, I know that you were in London for the Philly series there, and I was wondering what you were thinking in light especially of Chase Utley's position as resident ambassador for baseball in London. What do you think the future of baseball is in the UK?
Man, he has one of the greatest positions ever. I mean, I think they made it up for him. I think baseball needs to go out there. It was really fun.
It's great.
People that win, I think they enjoyed it, and people that missed out, you missed out. I really do think they need to look at it in a little bit different with bringing a couple more teams and making it a week and having the couple teams play, because they've had success with the World Baseball Classic in having multiple games in the same stadium during one day.
Yeah.
So it is possible. I think that's what would be a lot more beneficial, because the travel, and that's what players in our union always looks at, is travel time. That's not fair to the other teams that aren't going. So I think if you can take almost a whole division and go out there for a whole week and play a bunch of games, you can give a day off here and there. I think it would be great, because then a lot more fans are going to come. I think it really brings baseball out to Europe and hopefully further on. There's a huge benefit to it.
Yeah, I know. I've been over there for the NFL and for baseball. It's so similar on so many levels, and I think it's great. I really do. I mean, I obviously didn't broadcast those games, but I was there. I did everything else. I was at the game. I had some fish and chips. Yeah. I had a lot of beer.
Yeah, I did
a lot of beer. But I wasn't on the air, so I could have as much beer as I wanted to have. So, all right, Ashley, one more.
Yep, guys, we got another. Rob is here. He's all vibes. He just said to me, Ashley, of course I am. It's a great time to be a Phillies fan. And yes, it is, Rob. So here's his question.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you very much. Max Kepler seems to be the big addition to the Phillies lineup this year compared to last year. And Marsh to center. So is that better offensively? I think I know the answer to that is Marsh, an offensive, everyday player. And then the other side, 7th or 8th inning, Rojas made a nice play in center field. Does Marsh make that play? So be topper for a little while, and how do you handle that?
Well, I think they're going to give Brandon the chance to be the everyday center fielder. It's just the feeling I get. Now, I will say, despite the shoulder issue, because he hasn't played it all in center field, Johan Rojas is pushing it a little bit because of his winter ball season and because of the way he's hitting this spring. But I do believe, as long as Marsh can hit lefties, and I think that's a big question, obviously, based on last year, then I believe that they will give him a chance to be the everyday center fielder. I think Rob has a very high regard for his potential. And I think defensively, I don't believe that they lose anything in center field. I think he goes left to right really well. And I think the fact that Kepler, if he could do what he's been doing this spring, Cole and I were talking about it today. When he first came up, I always thought of him as being a lanky sort of outfielder, a good one, but he is huge. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a good pickup. I think it's a great flyer. It sounds strange to say, it was only $10 million. But in this day and age, for 1 year and $10 million, you give it a shot, I think it's a great pickup. And I think he's going to be fine defensively. I really do. So.
No, I agree exactly with what Tom said is when they were going out to try to find somebody in the outfield, he was the top of their list.
Yep.
And they got him. And I think that's great. And it didn't cost 20 to 50, $60 million. So I think he's a good pickup.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do our Toyota RAV4 things to know. All right? Now, you may sit there and think, did they plan this? No, we didn't. So I have no idea what Cole is going to say. He has no idea what I'm going to say. So we're each going to choose two things. Our RAV4 things to know. All right, you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You're showing me the way the whole time. So
okay.
I'm following
that's
your
good.
lead. I'm following Tom's lead.
That's good because I don't want to lose out on my choices. Yeah,
I'm the rookie again.
All right, so the RAV4 things to know is that I just lost my train of thought on what I was going to use for my first one. No,
you really wanted me to go first.
I'm just kidding. The RAV4 things to know is that this Phillies starting rotation, to me, is going to be the best in baseball, and it's going to lead them to the postseason. And at that point, the bullpen will then get stronger because I think one of these guys will go into the bullpen, Ranger Suarez, and help the team where they probably need it. So the RAV4 things to do, that's my first thing. So
I actually think that 3 out of the 5 starters are all going to have 185 innings. I really do. The lineup, the depth, and what those pitchers want to go out and do. They want to post their 33 to 34 starts. They're trying to get their 6 innings. So I really do think you're going to have 3 guys on that list that are going to go above and beyond 185 innings.
My second thing to know is that Trey Turner is going to steal 50 bases this year. I think he's healthy, and I think he's going to steal 50 bases this year. I don't know if he's going to bat leadoff, but I still think he's going to steal 50 bases this year.
I actually think Bryce is going to win the MVP again.
That was really one of mine. I thought that same thing.
No, I really do. I mean, for him to move to first base last year was huge. How he plays, I think now he knows what he can do. I know he said he could go to right field or go to the outfield. Shoot, he can still do that. But I think he's going to win another MVP.
And I do believe, and I don't know this for sure, but I do believe he may win an award for TikToks here in 2025. I don't know if they give out awards for TikToks, but I do believe he's going to win an award for TikToks this year.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley's got so this is interactive. We have all these great questions here, but we're also getting some questions on social media. So Ashley Hall has more questions, but now these are online. Ashley, take us to the future.
We are here, Tom. It's official. So, Cole, obviously, like you said, a lot to prepare for when you're starting a new job. But Scott wants to know, are you prepared for all the antics that the Fanatic is going to bring into the booth?
Oh, my God. I totally forgot about that.
Well, so he wanted to, I think he wanted to come in. I think he wanted to come in today. And we're like, just give him one day.
Oh, man. I really look forward to having Kruk next to me. So I kind of push Kruk into it.
The funny thing is that he brings in popcorn every once in a while.
Right.
And one time we were out in the stands, and I don't know if you guys noticed that, but Ben Davis puts a lot of product in his hair. Like a lot of product in his hair. And there was so much oil on the popcorn that Ben's hair was starting to wilt in the middle of the ball game.
Oh,
so
man.
you have to be ready for that.
And it gets hot in the summer up there.
Gets hot in the summer. Yeah, it gets hot in the summer. All right, Ash, you have any more? All right. So we're preparing for more online questions. So if anybody has any other questions, if you want to send them in online, that would be great. All right. So we talk about the pitching staff, how important that is. When you played, you had Brad Lidge close.
Right.
So nowadays it's more, let's bullpen by committee. You think that's okay? I mean, it's worked for the Phillies, but do you think the way this bullpen is structured that bullpen by committee is okay in this day and age in baseball?
I do, just for the fact that you can't have guys come in for one batter anymore because of that rule change where a guy has to face 3 hitters. Then you do have to adjust it based off the strengths and weaknesses of who's coming up in the lineup during that 9th inning, versus even sometimes in the 7th and 8th, almost might be a more important inning than the 9th. And so you might need your top guy in the 6th or 7th, maybe the 8th, to then shut down, and then you can lead it. So I just think the options and the technology with how much analytics are there, you have to then kind of manage through committee opposed to just having one go-to guy.
You know, it's funny. People talked about that all the time, but it wasn't until the last 3 years that people actually followed through with that the 7th or 8th inning were actually important parts that you may have, let's say, Freddie Freeman up, so you got to bring Alvarado in there instead, you know, things like that.
I think maybe because that was having to do with agents.
Could be something to
when
do
you're
with
having
that.
to do
Could
arguing with agents and contracts and incentives.
Somebody wanted to close.
That, I think now players are accustomed to it, and now agents are not arguing for contracts based off of saves. They're arguing over different stuff. So now I don't think there's a fight as much.
All right, Ashley, I know you're standing by for more.
Yep. First of all, Stan T is being a very good friend. He asked if we can give his friend Danielle a birthday shout out.
Danielle, happy birthday, Danielle.
Happy birthday.
Is Danielle here or is she somewhere else?
She's virtual. We're in the future, Tom.
Oh, that's right. We're in the future.
All right. Happy birthday.
So shout out to Danielle. And then next up he says, have you ever been a believer in a 6-man starting rotation to save their arms a bit? Or is the routine for 5 guys just too important?
Well, I love 5 guys, by the way. I've never been a big fan of the 6-man rotation, but I'm wondering if we're actually going there at some point. I don't know how you feel.
I don't think so yet. A 6-man rotation just reminds me of a college, a college experience, a college, sort of baseball environment. I just think this is the big leagues. This is kind of what you train for. This is why you get paid to do this as a job now. I think you just need to stick to the 5-man rotation. And if you do need to throw a spot start in there to give a guy a breather, but I just don't think it can just maintain that where you're pitching once a week.
By the way, speaking of that, because it may happen this year with Andrew Painter coming up, I know you've had conversations with him. What have those conversations been like?
Yeah, I think he's excited. I think like anything though, is when you don't get to participate out here, you get the anxiety, you feel like you're missing out, and it's like easy. You're going to be there near the end, and that's where you want to be. It's not really how he's going to start, it's how he's going to end and how he's going to finish with the team.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're here tomorrow, I don't know which field it is, but one of these fields he's throwing live batting practice, so it's going to be the first time.
He is impressive.
The first time he's going to face hitters, in this environment since he got injured in that when he pitched against the Twins a couple of years ago. So, Ashley, you have one more question?
Back to in-person fan questions. And Tom here, we have a lot of Toms.
Great name. It's a real strong name.
It's a great name. 2008 question. We're taking it back.
Yes. Yeah, I just want to say, first of all, Cole, thank you so much for 2008. One of the greatest years of my life watching the Phillies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I had great teammates, trust me. Great teammates.
My question is, I know all of Philadelphia was feeling very depressed after Game 5, the first part, because you weren't going to be in there to finish that game. So how are you feeling about that?
Oh, yeah.
I understanding kind of the situation and knowing if I'm going to go that deep into a ball game, I guess the next best game that I would have been involved in would have been a Game 7, and we did not want to get to a Game 7. It was unfortunate, but it is. You look at our bullpen. I mean, we have a JC, Ryan Matson, and Lidge. I had all the confidence in the world knowing those guys could fill what they needed to do. And I mean, how about, Pat Burrell getting one of the biggest hits of his career, and to kind of conclude, what he did for Philly, to conclude it in that way. I mean, there's no better way to go out too.
Yeah, it's very true. It was unbelievable. And again, I do think this team, envious of the Eagles parade, and as Jimmy mentioned last couple weeks, envious of the 2008 parade. And I think that's what their focus is going into this year.
No, this team is so talented, and they do have it. They just got to get there, and I think that's what we're all rooting for, because I would love to see it for them, because it's hard to describe what you guys give to us, and especially what that parade is, and the years and years and years of just being celebrated. You want that for these teams. You want it for these guys. It's just a special moment. There's no better place to play baseball and to win.
Yeah, and I will say, there's a lot of luck involved. There's no doubt about that. Give me a prediction what you think this year.
In what way?
Well,
who are they playing?
I'm not
who are they beating?
I'm not. Who are they? Who are they beating? No, I don't want to say. It'd be easier for us to say they're going to win the World Series.
Right. I mean, everybody wants to say that. Yeah.
Right. I personally think, and I don't know how this isn't the case, that the odds makers have the Braves and the Mets ahead of the Phillies in the division to win it. There's different odds makers, but the Phillies are second in both of them that I've seen. I think it's crazy.
No, it is. I think last
it's
year I thought it was going to be Phillies-Yankees World Series. And, an 09 rematch, just Phillies winning it. And it is. I thought they were going to play the Dodgers, very similar fashion to what we did in 09. I thought it was going to be almost identical. It's just we winning.
Yeah.
So I think this year, I do. It's going to be a battle. But I have faith that the Phillies, they're going to be in the World Series.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter, I don't know what team they're going to face, because with Garrett Cole going down, that's a tough blow for the Yankees. I thought they were kind of the team that were, are the favorites to be in the World Series also from the American League. So, I mean, right now it's up for grabs in the American League.
Yeah, we stay healthy. I like the matchups, even though I know the Dodgers have done a lot this offseason. I still like the 1-2-3 matchup that the Phillies can put out there against any team's 1, 2, and 3 starters. I really do.
Right.
In the postseason.
Right.
So, well, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate your support throughout the years. And we're looking forward to 2025. Cole will join us on Sundays this year. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And, let's go Phils, right? Thanks to everybody at Toyota, Paul Muller and his entire group. We really appreciate his support. And thank you, everybody out there who's watching us. We look forward to another great year. Tomorrow, we have the prospect game here, and there's some pretty good players that you're going to get a chance to see. So come on out and watch the Phillies prospects. So for Cole Hamels, Ashley Hall, our entire crew, I'm Tom McCarthy. So long to the internet, and so long to everybody out here at Baycare Ballpark.